Okay, so if I were, we're gonna actually just start with the letter. You guys ready? Okay. Kelly, can you guys see okay? Okay. All right, so everybody can start out by writing it. So y equals mx plus b. Okay? This formula, or this equation, okay, represents an equation of a line. Okay, so there's some very important variables that we need to know. What ones do you recognize up here to begin with? What variables, what letters do you recognize based on what we've done this year? What ones have we worked with that you just worked with yesterday? Yep.
Why is it?
X and Y, exactly, okay? So our new letter that we have here is M and B, okay? So our letter M, our variable M, this actually represents our slope, okay? What does that mean? What does slope mean? When you hear the word slope, what do you think of? Yep.
Like the Y, or the slope.
Kind of like the incline of a line, or when you guys are, you know, in Wonderland, going up going up to the ride, okay, the little incline plane that you're going up. Okay, there's a slope of some sort. Okay, so this represents our slope. Okay, so slope is also known as our rise over our run. Okay, right now you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? You will know eventually. Okay, and B, the letter B, okay, this is going to represent our y-intercept. What does that mean? What does our y-intercept represent? Yep.
When something crosses over.
Exactly. So when there is a point that lies on our actual y-axis. Okay? So our y-intercept, what would our, if I were to ask you to write this as an ordered pair, a coordinate, what would it look like? Okay, an ordered pair we know is x and y. Okay, so this is our y-intercept. If this was a number, okay, it would be 0 and whatever that number is for b. Okay? And when I do an example, you'll have to practice with that. Okay? So we're just going to start with that for now. So if I ask you to graph the equation, okay, y equals, let's do 3x plus 2. Why is this an equation, first of all? How do we know it's an equation? We have variables, we have an equal sign, and what else do we have? Yep, a constant, exactly. Hey, Mohammed, do you have a?
I have a question.
Sure.
And at the top, does it say mx plus b?
Yeah, that's my fancy. Okay, mx plus b. Perfect. Okay? So, there are two strategies that we can use to graph this. Okay, so strategy number 1. Okay, you guys can write this out. Okay, we're just going to use a T-chart. Okay, so if I were to use a T-chart, we're just going to have our x here and our y. Okay? So a couple of days ago, we were talking about the nth term, when we had our term number and our term value. And what was really important with that? The order, right? So our term 1, and then we had 2, 3, 4. When we were using a T-chart, we're just simply graphing a line. We can pick any values we want for 1, and we are just going to be plugging it into our equation. So what would be an easy letter to start with, number to start with? If I were to choose a number for x, in order to find out what y might be. Yep?
1 or 2.
1 or 2? We could even do 0. Let's start with 0, okay? So if I did 0, okay, all you're going to do here is take this 0 and plug it into our x variable. So y, so you don't have to write y equals, because that's what we're determining. So 3 times 0 plus 2. What do I get? 3 times 0 is? 0. What I left?
2.
Good. So if I were to ask you to write this as an ordered pair, what would my coordinate be? An ordered pair, what would our coordinate be? Yep.
It would be 0 and 2.
Awesome. Okay, so 0 and 2. So what I've just done right now is determined a point that my line is going to go through. Okay, good? Awesome. Okay, so another number for x.
2.
2? Sure, so let's do 2. You notice I'm not doing 1. I could even do -2, I could do +5, I could do 100. Doesn't matter, because all I'm going to do is find out what a coordinate would be. Okay? So 2, let's plug it in. 3 times 2 plus 2 is? 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is?
8.
8. Awesome. Okay, what would my coordinate be? to 8. Awesome. Okay, and let's do, what's another one we could do? 7, sure. Let's just pick one. I want to show you. It doesn't really matter what order you put it in. Okay, so I'm going to choose 1 for this, and also because of our graph. So we'll do 1. So 3 times 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 5, right? So my coordinate would be 1 and 5. Okay, what I would like you to do now is to graph those 3 points. Okay? So do that. You're going to put your points there, and then I want you to draw a line that's going to go through your points. And I want you to extend your line and add some arrows on there. And why are we doing that? Why are we adding an arrow at each end? Because we're not graphing a line segment, we're graphing a line. Okay, so it's just going to keep going. Okay? Because if I were to put in any value for x, and I figure out my y, the line could just keep going and going and going. Okay? All right, so go ahead and plot those points and then draw your line.